Welcome to today's Explainer. Today we're stepping back in time to June 3rd, 2026. We're looking at a historical weather event that literally altered a community forever. This isn't just your standard recount of wind and rain. No, it's a deeply solemn story about the terrifying, sheer might of nature, and really the fragile reality we build right in the middle of it. The sky changed that day, and honestly with it, so did countless lives. So let's dive right in and look at exactly what happened when those clouds rolled in.
Okay, let's actually start with a really haunting sentiment directly from the survivors themselves. They said, it wasn't a storm, it was a catastrophe. Wow. That's a chilling hook for the story we're about to unpack, right? The people who actually lived through this, they aren't using basic weather terms. They're using words of profound loss and absolute shock. It really sets the stage perfectly, showing us that what was approaching their village was entirely beyond anything they'd ever experienced.
Section 1. A normal morning. The deceptive calm.
It's crazy, but every great tragedy almost always starts with the mundane, and this day was absolutely no exception. The morning of June 3rd started just like any other. The air was calm, daily routines were humming along, and there was this warm, idyllic peace that completely lulled the entire community into a false sense of security. But what's really striking here is how rapidly the day deteriorated. I mean, nobody could have predicted this. We go from a completely normal morning to a slightly windy noon to utter, complete devastation within minutes, and finally, just quiet horror hours later. The sheer compression of time here is staggering. It wasn't some slow build over a few days, it was an abrupt, violent shift that caught literally everyone off guard.
So let's picture what that deceptive normalcy actually looked like. Farmers were out in the fields, working the land just like they did every single day. Kids were playing outside, their laughter filling the air. The markets, bustling with that typical, energetic morning vibe. And yeah, sure, there were some clouds in the sky, but they seemed totally harmless. Actually, scratch that, they seemed like normal summer clouds. Absolutely no one looking up anticipated the horror that was approaching. They all just thought it was another typical day.
Section 2. A terrifying scene. The escalation.
Now things pivot fast. As we crossed into the afternoon, that gentle morning breeze began to just absolutely howl, violently stripping away the calm. First, these incredibly strong winds started to roar, totally drowning out the normal sounds of the village. Then, massive dust clouds rolled in from the horizon, literally swallowing the sky whole like an angry demon. Finally, a sudden, suffocating darkness dropped right in the middle of the day. The environment itself turned hostile in just a matter of minutes.
And the intensity of nature's wrath here, it was relentless. Pure chaos. Massive trees, we're talking trees that had stood there for generations, were violently uprooted right out of the earth.